I stinking did it anyway. I double tapped that deal. I didn't even mean to.
It's becoming like a trademark. It's awesome.
No, I am embarrassed. I played it off as a joke the first couple times. Now it's just an error.
There's worse things, man.
Anyway, yeah, I don't care.
Worse things.
Anyway.
What are you guys doing? What are you doing?
I'm enjoying this nice chill weather.
It is delightful to be in my garage and not sweating.
I don't want it to get any colder than this, though. This is about right.
Sure would be nice if I had something there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it would sure be nice if I had something in here.
We're going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
I think Doherty's froze up.
No, he's very still.
He's so still you can't even see him.
He was doing his ninja focus. His heartbeat stopped.
Yep. Ninja.
Typing stuff into the private message.
Oh.
What have you guys been up to? Let's actually get into that. Let's kick this show off the way we should. Let's start off with some stolen pictures from the internet. And in regards to stolen pictures, our thumbnail for the last show, we always figure out the thumbnail after the show. Our thumbnail for the last show was the car boat from Drag Week, and we did steal that from
you old motor boating son of a, you
old sailor, you. So we stole that picture from Eric White. Eric White is with Drag Driver Pete. You guys really need to get online and go look at some of his pictures because he had some great pictures from the events.
He's been busy lately. There's a lot of pictures to look at.
A lot. Him and Narcs have been all over the place. Different events, different. But we stole some other photographs, so let's share those because they're stolen.
The car belongs to John. Me.
The car belongs to John, yes.
Hey,
the camera that took the picture belongs to Johnny.
Are you going to share the good picture with both front wheels in the air? Because that's
no. I actually deleted that one while you guys. We talked about this pre-show, but no, I went ahead and deleted that one. I didn't want to get his hopes up.
That's that one right there. Look at that.
That's a good one.
Ain't even my car, and I'm stoked about it.
It was a good night.
Yeah, that was the best launch I've ever seen you make.
Yeah.
It was just everything was nice.
They were doing pretty good there for a while.
Yeah.
Science.
Hey, you'll be right back there in no time, and even better.
Yeah. Sometimes you go a little slower, and then you go faster. Yep. You go slower again, and then faster again.
The vicious cycle.
Science.
It's like the 8th show I've said it on. In order to crush one's dreams, you must first get their hopes very high. How well did the car run?
That night it ran okay. That's from the carb testing night.
Oh, that's right. That is from car testing night. Yeah, that's from.
We did a bar change. Once we figured out that the car was fine, we changed the ladder bars and should have liked it, but man, it really didn't. Went to bunny hopping that front end again and tried to play with tire pressure and shock settings, and I don't know, maybe with better shocks it would have been better, but
maybe
mine, I think I need to drop that bar back down and
it seemed to be much happier.
And then maybe try to play with shocks and tires.
I think where you were at is probably a pretty good starting point for a street deal.
Now this is the old setting on the bars, right?
This is yep. And then we went back this weekend with the front of the bar dropped, and I just couldn't put it together. I dropped, a few hundredths on the 60 foot, and it all reflected in the ET for sure. So,
well, that's learning. That's how we do it.
And then I put it on the trailer early because of lack of maintenance.
Lack of maintenance.
That's all we need to say about that.
Carl, crawl under your car. Check everything out, folks.
Car's all fine now. We could go cruise that deal all over town if I hadn't forgotten my street tires in Oklahoma.
Back to definitely going to 66, right? 666.
Oh man, there's so much going on here. That's the
okay.
Between now and 2 weeks from now is 666.
Right.
And 2 weeks after that, we have to be moved out of this house and we sell this one and buy a new one.
So you got a few things you need to be doing.
We got irons in the fire. There's adulting to be done.
That adulting thing is really overrated.
Man, it's getting old.
Somebody has given me a lot of crap for setting stuff in stone and then not being able to follow through with it.
All right. You got like 52 years of that.
Yeah, I do.
This is my first one.
And I also have too many keys.
Yeah, you don't have too many.
No, but it certainly does add a unique challenge to life, and I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. I've said it 1,000 times. I got a good life. I can't complain about that. But
that's
not the point of this show. The point of this show is to be morons.
No, we're not morons. Not at all. That may be.
That may have been a dumb move.
That may have been a dumb move.
I'm sure it's fine though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
just want to check the timing.
So,
dude, that's a bummer right there. That kind of irks me a little bit.
So,
me too.
So we learned about rotor phasing this week.
Yeah. I knew it was a thing, but I've never had to deal with that as being a thing. I've been struggling with my car. It starts great, cruises great, free revs great, everything's money, perfect, happy. But as soon as you try to go, make a hit, as soon as you put a load on that motor, it just kind of went crazy. It kind of sounded like it's on a two-step. It just pop out, and turns out after a 15-minute conversation with our boy Dusty, he's like, man, sounds like your rotor phasing is all jacked up, because I checked that before I do anything. So
we went ahead and did 9 other things.
Yeah. So John came over and we verified the balancer hadn't moved. We verified real top dead center. We did all that stuff. We did what we should have done. You're right. You know what I mean? And I'm not the greatest at that stuff, everybody. So I always ask for help so I don't mess it up more. But very long story short, when we got it on compression stroke number 1 and top dead center, the rotor was absolutely pointing at number 8. So we put a cap adapt deal and an adjustable rotor, got it pointed at number 1, fixed every issue, went out, hit 6,200, no problem. You know what I mean? It's fixed. Then the next night, John and I pulled the motor out. Bam.
Yeah.
It was time,
It wasn't a motor. It was me.
We're gonna put a battery pack with 712 9-volts in there and see what we can do with it. No. What started out as a joke on a group message with Stoney and a few other guys and us led to me purchasing a big block. Long story there. Buddy hooked me up. I got a good deal on a big block. Aluminum headed. He thought it was a 468. It's 462. It's like the stock GM aluminum hot rod heads. They're out at Fraser's already. And then when he's done with those heads, he told me to bring me the short block, and he's going to build that for me too. So pistons, probably some lifters. We're going to try using the cam that's in them that was in it. Okay. Backstory, I guess. It was a spare motor for a monster truck. So it's an old school build for, big block deal. So it's got good parts in it. And as long as everything checks out, good crank, good rods. Like I said, we're going to do a new set of pistons and rings, and Bear will do bearings, obviously all that stuff. But it'll be a 480 something when we're done, or when I'm not doing anything whenever Dusty's done. And we'll spray a little bit of nitrous to it. And it should be a little bit better than what I had.
So let's break down how fun this was. So there was an entire day of joking back and forth about Bo pulling his small block, and dropping a big block in it. And I called Bo at 4:30, and I said, "Hey, did you get that small block out of there?" And he goes, "Man, those guys are high. There is no way I'm putting a big block in this car. This car is finally right." Like,
all true. I said every bit of that.
I am not gonna mess with this car. I need to see what it will do now. I'm fine with the car. I'm fine with it the way that it is. 4:30, this happened. This conversation occurred. 5:15, I get a phone call back. "Hey man, so yeah, I bought a big block."
No, I sent him pictures to the group message first and said, "Well, that escalated quickly. I got a big block." I was at Devin's talking to him, and I was telling him about these guys are trying to talk to me going big block, and Devin kind of looked at me like I was dumb. He's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't you? If you could, why wouldn't you?" I was like, "Well, I don't know, blah blah blah. It's expensive." He's like, "It's no more than a small block doing what you're doing." So then anyway, sitting there, and he kind of he has that look like, "Man, he's like, I got something." He's like, "Well, I got this spare motor." He says it's been sitting there for 12 years. He said the last time he ran it, he said he goes, "I'm pretty sure I put bearings in it and changed the oil and covered it up and rolled it under this shelf here." So we rolled it out, and he said, "Man, if this will work for you, I'll sell it to you." So we hashed out a deal, and it's been rolling ever since. And having to sell I had to sell the small block to help build this deal. You know what I mean? But like I said, got a really good start. It's already got aluminum heads, good crank, good rods. We got to do pistons. Some of the pistons were kind of messed up, but other than that, block looks good, crank looks good so far.
You didn't have anything to put the small block in anyway.
No, man. Even if I did at this point, I want the big block so bad.
No, yeah. There were people that thought they were joking around on that group chat.
Yeah. You guys weren't.
They weren't. All them people have had a big block before.
Well, Stone Cipher, I made a comment about how, man, I can't afford G-body big block headers. And Stone Cipher said, "Well, if you go big block, I'll make you a killer deal." And I was, I wasn't joking, because you guys know this. If there's a really good deal, I'm going to buy it pretty much if it's a good deal, even if I don't need it. But I was like, man, it's hard for me to pass up a good deal. And then, it was like, man, if you go big block, just come grab these headers. And I wouldn't, and there's no way I was going to let them just give me the headers. I was going to, like I told you before that the other day, John, I'm going to give them a couple $100 at least, or, make them take it. But then he ended up needing a fuel injected small block intake. Fro gave me a brand new Holley small block Chevy fuel injected intake that I obviously don't need anymore. He was kind of buttering me up for working on his car and getting his car painted. Almost getting it painted. It'll be done next weekend. But so I just gave that. I said, "Here, man, here's this intake. We'll just swap them out." So I think we're even, Steven. I really didn't ask, but I just kind of assumed. If not, I told him if he needed anything else, let me know. And he said, "No, we're good." So to me, I guess that's even. But they need cleaned up and coated, but I can handle that.
Let's be clear about one thing. I wasn't exactly buttering you up for painting my car. People need to learn how to say thank you.
Yeah.
If you're going to paint my car, I will gladly throw that intake your way because a thank you is a thank you.
Well, it's just not like I'm showing up and it's taped off and I pull the trigger and then drop the gun and walk away. I mean, I've got some time and doing some body work here. You know what I mean? And getting this deal right.
Exactly. And I'm not very good at anything, so I'm just basically standing there going, "What do you want me to do now, man? What do you want?"
Does
me
look
to do
really
now?"
good.
How good? About that good.
I wish we had some really good before pictures.
I thought about loading up some before pictures, but I honestly, if you want to see before pictures, go check out the Circuit 2024 because there's all kinds of pictures on there.
See, you showed the side that has actually two issues that I still got to fix, but that's okay because we're not done. Man, that trunk was a pile of crap before.
Yes, it was.
It looks nice.
It is the car is so much nicer than I ever thought it was going to be when we started this. It's right. It is and until we laid down that last coat of primer, it was one of those things where I don't see the things that you see, Bo. Like you have an eye for this. I do not. And then when you shot that coat of primer and I saw it still wet, I saw the bubble you were talking about. And I was like, okay, I get it. I mean, yeah, can't leave that behind.
Yep. It looks better in person.
It looks so much better in person. Yeah, but no, you're right. The trunk lid was bad. Bunch of sun cracks. Apparently, they used the same paint that they used on Jimmy's dad's El Camino because like it cracked and it was made out of stone and there was just no sanding it. It was just.
It's all taken care of now. It's all fixed.
It's clean.
But
I'm excited to get that shot. I'm excited to paint that.
It's I was kind of determined we were going to wind up either skipping the lace or finding a way to do it quicker because there was no way we were going to knock it out in the time frame that we had. There was no way we were going to knock it out with the heat.
No, and then I didn't. I remember I told you I don't want to spray it at night because these bugs. Yeah. And then I sprayed the primer at night, and how many bugs we have dive bombing that deal?
There were a couple.
So that would have ruined. I mean, it wouldn't have ruined it, but it would have really pissed me off if we were trying to paint and clear and we were dealing with that. So I told John, I said, man, Nova's next. You get that deal lined up. We're getting it's next.
Just get ready to do what I'm getting ready to do right now, John. Thank you, Jimmy, for the space to work on this. Thank you, Devin, for the space to work on this. Yes.
I think I've got a space that I'm going to start renting soon, I hope. So we won't have to do that anymore.
But everybody who's chipped in, everybody who's helped on this, everybody who's been supportive of this, I get a phone call a day from Doherty's brother-in-law asking me if we shot it yet, and like he's jacked up about it. I'm jacked up about it. Every time somebody calls me and asks me a question about it, I'm fired up about it.
Do you bring it up in conversation when nobody?
Every time I get a chance.
I do the same thing. Everybody's so tired of hearing me talk about big block stuff. It's unreal.
I'm not.
Well, not you guys. Hey, Mike texted me the other day. He's like, call me. Let's just talk big block stuff. I got nothing but time. And I'm like, yeah. So I call him. Let's do it.
I'm like Bubba on Forrest Gump. Like big block heads, like big block pistons, like big block camshafts.
Got to find a big block intake.
What's funny is this has shifted the entire direction. When we finally get to PRI, Bo's going to go a completely different direction than he was before this week started.
I'm not going to mention any names, and I'm not going to say exactly what was said to me, but one of our buddies walked up when I said, yeah, the small block got sold. They're going to come pick it up tomorrow and have money to get that big block built, and put his hand on my shoulder and pat him. He's like, congratulations, you don't like boys anymore. Thanks. Whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Whatever.
I think
It's
you're good.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. It
It's
takes
all
all
in
kinds.
fun. It's just joking.
It takes all kinds.
Yeah. But I don't know what I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, that's okay because we're getting ready to get into some of the topics we want to talk about tonight. Most of this stuff's going to revolve around Drag and Drive.
No way.
Yeah, so I guess Greg can stop listening now.
Yeah, Greg, you can go ahead and turn this off.
This is when Greg's
Turn it off, Greg.
This is when he gets up and gets a beer.
Yeah,
So-
go get
He
you.
did.
Go
Listen,
get
he did
you a
enjoy.
drink.
Drag Week and Rocky Mountain Race Week is going on. What happened last week? We got to talk about it. You don't ignore
Well,
some
It's
big
talk
events.
worthy. We have opinions, and
Yeah.
they're not even good ones, but we have an outlet.
He had a great time watching your little train of thought fall off the tracks last week. He thought it was the funniest thing.
Man, it's because I get distracted. I'm sitting here playing with a spare koozie. Somebody take away all my toys.
Well,
So I can.
when we were
got
doing
gas-
audio stuff, it was a clicker on a pin.
Yeah.
I got a gasket and a magnet.
Yeah, I got. If
was
I had
playing
that
with
magnet,
nut
I
and
could
bolt.
reach the pins.
Um,
They're right over there.
and no matter what anybody says, they're always
Yeah,
like,
there's-
we've heard that we always talk about stuff Fro don't want to talk about. But hey, after Fro attended the circuit and got more attention that me and John combined with his car,
Yeah,
I think he's okay with drag and drive events.
Wait till next year.
I want to see how many pictures get taken of it once it's painted. Everybody be walking by it like, just a show car.
Just a show car.
You
Who
kidding?
cares?
It's not going to be the car. I'm showing up in a zoot suit with a big feather coming out of my hat. It's going to be
No.
amazing.
Big feather
No.
coming out of your what?
I'm buying a fedora just for this car. So let's start the verbal fist fights here. And I'm going to run through these real quick because honestly, they may not stick. They may stick. I don't know. Is Mike Finnegan a cheater?
No.
No.
Why? Why is he not
If you
the big
think Mike
drama?
Finnegan's a cheater, then F you.
That suspension was available when gassers were created and people ran the same suspension. That's why it's not cheating.
They they were making extended length control arms, and they didn't start doing. They didn't go straight to straight axle.
Now, if the rules of the event
technically.
says must be straight axle, then yeah.
It don't
At
say
that-
must be
at that
straight
event.
axle. It must have that gasser stance. Must have that. They don't say must be straight axle. I don't think anybody's gasser rules say that.
So to break it
Hey.
down,
So hold on. Why did he do it? Tell me why.
because the car didn't work.
Yeah,
He did it to go faster.
to go
Yeah.
faster.
He modified his car further to go faster with technology that was available back when all this junk started, right?
Do you think if when they were building gassers back in the olden times, like when Fro was a kid, that they would have went to a straight axle if they had the same lightweight materials and technology they have now to build that fancy long travel suspension front end that he has? I don't think they would have.
Everybody out there, just remember a couple things. First of all, John's like 3 minutes younger than me.
But look at me.
Second of all, what we're talking about, Mike Finnegan has the Blasphemy 55 Chevy. It was a straight axle car. It is a dedicated gasser. It has one gasser class at Drag Week a couple times, maybe a few. I don't remember, but it doesn't work well. So he changed to an independent front suspension. If you go and look at the rules, that is a legal suspension setup. There is nothing about that car that's illegal. He literally changed the entire front end to control arm front suspension. It still sets at the required height. It still does all the required things. It is still a gasser.
Which brings me to my next point. Who
Don't
did he
smoke
beat?
crack.
Who did he beat that's so mad?
I don't think it's that he beat anybody that
He
caused the
didn't, because he didn't
controversy.
finish.
And I get that, but that's where I was going with this. I think this is just petty BS on the internet.
Yeah.
It's good for him because there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when he's got to release a full 1-page post about why his car is not illegal, maybe we've gone a little too far.
Nobody's questioning the 16-volt lithium batteries that are all these race cars because they were
Right.
available back then.
Right.
Well,
got a battery the
that's
size
legal.
of a peanut that can power a space shuttle.
Yeah, that's
They
fine.
had that in the 50s.
That's
Come
fine.
on, man.
but let's talk about one thing.
Okay.
The rules for Rocky Mountain Race Week, if I recall correctly from the show where we were reading the rules for Gasser class, stated no coil on plug. That is a coil on plug car. So that would technically, depending on how Drag Week has it set up, there are a lot of modern conveniences on that car. They didn't have a 12-inch digital dash on.
12-inch. What?
You can't pause with stuff like that. Larry,
Like,
me and John are mentally 14 years old. You can't do that to us.
Sorry, 12.4 inch.
Thank you.
So the car is a Gasser class car. The car does have a lot of modern conveniences. And in race week, I'm not positive that's legally a Gasser just because of the coil on plug.
Now, if they made a class that was like a
Modern
period
gas.
retro class,
Mhm.
and you couldn't use anything, like you couldn't use a lithium battery, you had to use the same, tools, techniques, and parts that were readily available pre-1970, pre-1960, whatever. That'd be a different story, but that's not what the rule says. It's got to look the part. It's got to have the right stance. It's got to have certain attributes, but nobody ever said it can't have a independent front suspension.
And that's the big topic of controversy.
Shocks as long as your arm, and I mean it's like trophy truck front suspension that
thing comes off the line hard.
You made a good point, John. Usually it's they beat someone and then someone throws a fit.
Yeah. Right now, people are just throwing a fit because it's fun to beat on people. It's fun to pull out your 12-inch stick and beat somebody over the head on the internet.
12.4 inch.
Boom.
All right.
I'm kind of over that. I'm kind of a cheerleader, especially for all my friends. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always rooting for you whenever you go anywhere. Believe it or not, I'm rooting for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Even though as much as I love Jimmy, I don't know why the hell he got a double bead lock for that truck. Whatever. That's his decision. You know what I mean? I'm really pulling for Mike to get his hot rod back out and get it going again.
Yeah.
It's anybody we know I'm rooting for. I don't, used to I'd sit back and go watch him blow this deal up. Did you see him? He didn't make a good pass because I was kind of crappy. But now, no, man.
Man, I want
everybody to do good.
Because you know what's fun is going and everybody gets to participate.
Yeah.
It's not fun when everybody else don't get to go.
I don't think Jimmy's going to do drag and drive. It's too structured for him.
And that's not what I'm not saying drag and drive.
John said
He's
no.
not wired that way. He's not.
No.
I don't think he's.
I think he wants to like it. It's too structured. He's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't like this way.
Yeah.
It's better my way this way over here.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, there's a certain level of stress that is inherent to drag and drive. And when you get to that point, and we've seen this from John, I've seen this from Bo, you get to that point to where you've been busting your butt so hard to get through this, and the car is fighting you the entire way. And now all of a sudden you're crabby as hell and nobody wants to talk to you. And I don't think Jimmy, I don't know that certain people would be cut out for that. That when you get to that stressed out moment, there's a lot of people like me who would throw in the towel. And when your motor ate the carb stud,
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm done. Y'all go ahead. I'm getting the truck.
I will say, just taking the car to the track and it not being a drag and drive, if something happens, I am the first one to switch back to gym shorts and throw that deal on the trailer. Like let's go. I'm done with sweet tea. I'm on the beer now. Let's go have fun, boys. Let's
We're
go
doing
watch
wobble
races.
pop now.
Yeah. It's a different mentality for sure. It's you got to turn it on whenever you go on an event. It's because like I probably could have figured this out this weekend and then went and did more things. I mean, it's literally a 2 end wrenches in 10 minutes and I'm back in action. But instead, I'm like, that sounds hideous. Put it on the trailer.
In your defense, it sounded pretty gnarly.
Sounded like a pig and a mule fighting in a barn stall.
Yeah. With a turkey trying to chop its own foot off.
Yeah.
It was rough.
What a description.
It was
I mean, you could probably diagnose the car off of that if you know what you're doing, but from inside the car, I couldn't tell what the heck was going on. I just knew I wasn't gonna do anything else with it.
Without digging too deep into the whole situation, everybody guessed wrong.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
Which is all right. That's good.
Hey,
I'm glad we were all
wrong together.
At least we were all dead ass wrong, and I'm good. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Because here I am. I'm like, I'm wanting to talk big blog stuff with John. I'm like, John's a big blog guy. I'm talking to John about big blog stuff every day. And I'm like, well, John's gonna be upset because his big block is broke. It is not happy. So
no, my big block was on the trailer, waiting on me to do big block things with it. It's over there all sad. And I'm driving over to your house to pull a motor out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It's over there going, man, you're gonna go touching all over that small block, really?
It's to make room for a big block, though.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I was wrapping it up for the night. I was done. John calls me, says, "What are you doing?"
No, you weren't.
I said, "I got 3 bell housing bolts left, and that's it." And he was like, I'm 5 minutes away. Oh, I'm on my way. I'm like, man, the cherry picker's at Devon's. He's like, yeah, so we go get the cherry picker and we pull this motor out tonight. Yeah. I was like, well, we don't have to do that. He's like, nope. You got a guy wanting to buy this deal. Let's get it done. I'm like, okay, cool. So
see, and here's how some of us think alike. I called Bo at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
I just started taking stuff apart. Yeah.
And Bo's like, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm taking stuff apart so I can get this motor out of here. And I was like, cool. Is anybody over there to help you? And he goes, no, not yet. And I go, excellent. I'm gonna get in the car. I'm gonna head your way. I'll be there in an hour and a half. And he's like, no, do not drive over here. We're taking the motor out tomorrow. I'm gonna get all the bolts. I'm gonna get everything out so that we can just hook the hoist onto it and it'll come right out. We'll do it tomorrow. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And I was like, all right, man. I'm just saying, like I can head that way. And he's like, nah, I'm good. Don't worry about it.
I mean, and then, yeah, go ahead.
And then I get a picture of an empty engine bay, and I was like, oh, I really want to help.
I didn't send you the picture of me and John holding our beers up with Victory beers. My wife texted me, and she's like, are you okay? Are you underneath the car, or is the car on top? Well, you all right? I'm like, yep. And I sent her the picture of me and John drinking a beer, and like, Victory beers, motors out. So, but you can ask John. It came apart pretty easy, man. Like there wasn't much. It took me a minute to get that last bell housing bolt out. That was kind of a booger, but only because it was one of those you got to use extensions and wobble, and I'm not the greatest, and I was tired. But
well, and when we put it together, it was the same way. It just kind of went together.
We had a hoist issue to get worked through. It wasn't a big deal. What a big deal. No. Apparently, John has ran into that a couple of times. He knew exactly what to do.
So, old hat.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got away from Drag and Drive, but we're going to go right back into it. Snot Rocket
back
3.
In there nice and
Snot Rocket 3 is out there testing. We talked about the Snot Rocket like 2 episodes ago, where somebody bought Snot Rocket 2. Well, number 3 is out and doing testing. I didn't catch the video. You guys catch the video?
Yep.
It's not
Is it
Rocket
bad?
2, the chassis. They didn't buy the car.
Ah, yes. No, it was just a roller.
Yeah.
Because the same motor, everything's out of 2 is in 3, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Which begs the question, was 3 done already?
No.
And
I don't
he
think-
sold 2 and just
If you think it is, Matt Moore will probably drive to your house and punch you right in the kisser. It sounds like they put in some work in a
Yeah, I think they
really short period
expedited
of
some
time.
of that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think they did a whole expedited thing. They knocked it. I think they got on it real
Yeah.
quick with a lot of effort into it.
So is
Yeah.
it still a radio car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
That
just made
didn't
a
change.
chassis to
They
go
just-
faster.
It's just a whole new chassis.
Okay.
It's bad news.
Anybody catch time, or were they showing times?
He's not making full rips. I mean, it's not turned all the way up yet,
All right.
Man, they're pretty rips.
but they're still way faster than I'll ever even.
And they're pretty like the as you right down Broadway. It is clean AF.
So let's get into verbal fist fight number 3. Are
Verbal
we
fist fight.
Are we past the point with drag and drives? Are we past the point where we have these drag races to get signed up, and whoever gets in first gets in?
No, we're not past the point. Man, this once again, I think this is we're gonna hear from Stone Cipher a lot about this episode, which is a good thing. I
Narcs
love
may
that he
unfriend us after this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about. I love that he listens. And I love that he tells us about it. That's I love that. No, we had a conversation about. We sound like a bunch of haters, and we're not.
And it's, let
So-
me be clear about this. I don't know anything about drag racing because I'm just not a drag racing guy. This is just something we discussed, and it is in no way a reflection of anything other than our opinions.
Basically, we've been talking about all these classes that spectators may or may not find as fun as some other classes, right? We talked about that. Some guys got hold of us, made some pretty good points. The 13-0 class is a very exciting class if you're competing in that class. If you're fighting for that number one, top 3 spot or whatever, it's exciting for you. Not necessarily is it the most exciting class for spectators to watch. So we kind of talked about, instead of going by the first 300 people to get signed up, why don't you have a sign up and then you fill in? You have so many spots for each category, each class.
So, long story less long. Trying to find a way to even out the car count in the classes, because Fro has a snip of what cars are in the classes,
Here we go.
and it looks like 14-0 37 cars, 13-0 10 cars. Of the 37, 27 finished. So a lot of fallout there in the 14-0 class, oddly. 13-0 10 cars, 6 finished. 12-0 38 cars, 31 finished. That's a heavily campaign class. That's cool.
Yeah.
11-0 27 14 finished. 10-0 16 and 12. You get down here, 9-0 class, 9 cars, 8 finished. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's 9 guys that can make 9-second licks, and 8 of those 9 finish the week.
And just to be clear, 9, 10, 11, and 12-0 cars that run those numbers on the street, those are all fast cars.
On the street.
I think
Yeah.
so. Street cars
do.
that can run that.
I don't
think that's
disagree
fast.
at all.
Yeah.
And then, but in a small block, 13 cars, in a big block, 7 cars, which you can enter whatever you want. In a small block, there were 3 cars with a 10-second average. In a big block, there was 1 car with a 10-second average. So yeah, there were 7 cars, 5 finished, but most of them were like 11 somethings and slower. There's nothing wrong with that. I've had a big block with a 11 something and slower. I'm good. Stick 16, Gasser 4, Ultimate Radial 4, Hot Rod 9, Rowdy Radial 4. That's super sad because that's a banger of a class.
That's one of my favorite.
Limited
classes.
Street 6, Pro Street 10, Outlaw Street 8, Junior Street 4, Unlimited 8, Moto. There's 2 hard asses and they do it. The thing is, I don't know how you would possibly get the car count closer together in all the classes without dropping a bunch of 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 second cars out of the race. Because I personally don't know that if given the opportunity, the other classes would be able to fill up any more than they already do.
And so that's the main question. If we knock down the 10 to 14 to 20 entries per class to open up more people for those, would it even fill up?
If you said we're going to open it up for, okay, so there's a bit of a cost of entry change point somewhere between 12 and 9. You can kind of argue about where that is. But when you get into like a 10-second, 9-second car, they start to get more pricey. It's hard to do a super budget build and do that.
Right.
Also get to be more maintenance. You drop below that 10.0 mark, there's more maintenance involved. And a lot of people don't want to like drive down the road with all that maintenance going on. So I don't know that if you just said, okay, we're going to open it up to everything 10.0 and quicker. Sign-ups are a week before. You guys got 7 days to fill these classes up. We're going to save 100 spots for everything else. I still don't think you would fill it up.
So you don't think you'd see unlimited class go from 8 to 20?
No, not even
Okay,
in a
and I would have to agree with you.
Unlimited's but okay, so it would possibly, if you just let anybody call their car unlimited class.
No, I mean you got to stick to the rules.
Because I'm pretty sure there was like 3 pickups in unlimited class.
Oh, just because they wanted to be unlimited?
Sure, in a class you can anything goes. It's unlimited. You can run a 1150 pickup. It's unlimited, no limit.
Okay. Now,
right there.
Now this is Rocky Mountain Race Week, right?
Yes, it is.
So we should have another slide here. I didn't get a chance to look over a whole lot of this, but this is Drag Week.
Yeah. Pretty, except for 2 classes, it's pretty even. So,
but the names of the classes get different here.
There are different class names. A street race small block, 86 cars. I think that's basically what it says. It's a street car with a small block.
There's a reason there's 86 of those. That's a super common.
Yeah, that's a
common thing. I mean,
hella common combo. Super. It's a pretty low cost of entry. I mean, you literally had one sitting behind you until 2 days ago.
Oh.
I mean, factory suspension, naturally aspirated small block for the most part. That's a easy. We'll call it a fairly easily attainable hot rod. And then Street Machine Eliminator, which is 152 cars, apparently. If my math worked out right, I just did a VLOOKUP on these class names. See how many.
So for legal reasons, these numbers are not 100% verified.
Yeah. Somebody call a guy out, but when you get down to the bottom and there's 3 pages of Street Machine Eliminator, like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 3 full pages of Street Machine Eliminator, all working to get into the bump spot to be on the last day bracket race deal.
So the whole point of what we're talking about here is, even though there's a difference in classes, like some of the classes that we love to watch, like in Drag Week, it would be Unlimited, Ultimate Iron, Pro Street. Some of the faster categories that we talk about. Going to Rocky Mountain Race Week, it would be Unlimited, Outlaw, Pro Street. Probably, well, you guys love Rowdy Radial.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna try that deal. I mean, those cars are fast. Those cars are fast. I know I know I probably couldn't be competitive.
Well, evidently you could have put a radial on a big wheel and got a 3rd place trophy in this last round.
We need to make
two Rowdy Radial cars finished.
We want to make Rowdy Radial great again.
No, we're gonna make NA racing great again.
I'm gonna give it a shot, but man, we don't go fast enough. I'm turning the bottle on because that's what it's being built for.
So the whole point of the argument is, do you guys think there should be a different way for signups?
I don't think there necessarily needs to be a different way. I think
would it help?
I don't think
you almost hit yourself in the face with a magnet. I love that.
Sorry.
I don't think it would change car count.
I don't see that. That's when we were talking about this, that we were having this conversation.
We have had 24 hours about this.
We talked about more of an application than just a sign up, first come, first serve.
Okay.
And but that's already kind of being done, right? And we had this discussion about 666. John, you got in on that.
So let's maybe next time I'll actually pull up car count in classes at 6 week, 6 summer, 666, the Tom Bailey events.
Yeah.
Because he evidently is screening for people to get in, or at least trying to get fast cars into his events on like 6 week and 6 summer, because there's usually a whole boatload of fast cars there. But is it still as lopsided as these other events?
I don't know.
That's
what I'm saying. If they take applications,
yeah,
and they fill those classes as they see fit, because it's not like if you sign up, you're for sure in. If you make it in the, it's you sign up, we'll let you know, right? And that how it went, or am I wrong?
He also did. Yeah, it was. Well, you sign up, we'll let you know.
Okay, so they probably
he also did like only the top 100 get a early entry at 6 week.
Yeah.
If you weren't fast enough to make that bump, you're not getting the email.
It's the top 100 fastest. That was explained to me.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, Fro.
He's just a big dumb animal, folks.
Big hairy American winning machine.
So let's look at it this way. So I'm looking at the Drag Week categories. I'm looking at Rocky Mountain Race Week categories. These both draw about the same number of competitors. Am I correct?
Similar number, yeah, I think.
So it seems to
and
me,
if you take everybody in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and dump them all in the Street Machine Eliminator, you've got really close to the same numbers.
well, and that's kind of what I was looking at, is you have so many fewer classes in Drag Week than you do in Rocky Mountain Race Week.
But you've got that Street Machine Eliminator that everybody jumps in.
Right, and that covers the 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9 class. So,
yeah.
or 11 class. We'll stop at 11. Dump all of that into the same category. Does it still turn out with the same numbers at Rocky Mountain Race Week?
So what do you need? What do you want next? Drag and Drive Hot Rod
Train fell off
Association?
again.
Is it like where there's a Drag and Drive commissioner and the guy puts the classes together and tells you
No, I'm
who does what in
literally-
each class?
I'm literally just throwing out. Again, I'm not a drag and drive guy. I'm just throwing out what I see.
So I'm the one that kind of brought this deal up. And just to be clear, I don't think there's anything wrong with how these events are being ran right now.
Right,
don't.
and that's we're not saying that.
So, but as a promoter, and we kind of talked about this last night too. Does it help with these events to say we have 40 sub 9-second cars that's going to be making passes and they're driving 1,000 miles in this week? Is that going to get more spectators to these events? Or does that even matter?
I thought about that
for the promoters, not for me. I mean, I don't care, but
I thought about that after we got off of our pre-show.
yeah.
And one of the things that kind of popped into my head is that you really don't, other than like hometown drag strips, you really don't see anybody going. The commercial's not there anymore. Sunday, come out and see the 300 mile per hour jet dragster. Like you don't see that anymore. And with social media, I think it actually just broadens everything out.
And here's where I go, and here's where I take people off. They're not going to advertise. I'm not going to say it. That'll piss a lot of people off.
Then let me say it. They're not going to advertise Plan Bs. They're not going to advertise the rental car that you brought. I understand where you're coming from with that. And I see what your argument is.
Well,
but I don't think it's advertised like that anymore.
As we talked about, even if we don't have a drag and drive, if an event limited these index classes that we were talking about to open up more spaces for the faster cars, because if there's 250 spots available and you're first come first serve, who has autofill done better, they get in. I'm kind of with John a while ago. I don't know that we're going to see any more people in these faster classes. But with that being said, if they did start doing that, would people kind of start building cars because they know they got a better chance of getting in if it's an application versus a autofill contest?
Ooh, so create your own crowd by limiting it. You're making it more desirable.
Yeah, no. Let's have a spelling bee.
I'm gonna win this deal.
I lost in third grade on the word gauge.
Dumb.
So,
Thanks.
do you have any more drag and drive pictures?
No.
Okay. So what? Like, I don't have any complaints.
No, neither do I.
I don't have.
Neither do I.
I don't really care. They're really just observations.
It's just fun stuff to talk about.
And a kind of a really neat question that was posed, because some folks think that the car count might change if the way to sign up changed. Not sure it would, mainly because of cost of entry on some of the classes that you would be signing up for, and ability to keep those cars running. And maybe not everybody has the confidence to be able to do that.
I'm getting at is how many people do you think are purposely not building an unlimited car or whatever, one of the faster cars, because they're like, man, it's hard as hell to get in anyway. I don't know that I'm going to get in, and I'm not trying to build this kind of car unless I get to use it. You know what I'm saying? Which I know that's a, probably it's a kind of an out there thought, but
you know what keeps me from building an unlimited car?
Money.
Bingo.
Yeah, me too.
You know what keeps me from having a banger of an 850 car? Also money. You know what keeps me from having a gasser that I could throw in on?
Money.
I
If
don't
you
like.
guessed money, then you're right on the
Well,
head.
my deal is I just don't like straight axles front, so I wouldn't fit in. Yeah, speaking of needing money to
We
build
got a
stuff,
good
I got
gas-
some really nice
good
Doug's
gas.
long tube headers for sale. I got a Gen 4 5.3 for sale. It's got 243 heads. I got some other stuff, guys.
So can we draw a comparison? Can we draw a comparison like this? Outlaw Armageddon. Outlaw Armageddon used to be like the huge event. It was the one that everybody wanted to go to. It was one everybody wanted to watch. It was one where you go see all the guys from Street Outlaws. Has that tapered off at all with the popularity of Street Outlaws? Kind of tapering off.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Still a massive event. Still a huge event. I think it was like 2 weekends ago or last weekend.
Last weekend.
Last weekend. Yeah.
But like they have the names. They have all of the guys coming out there. I believe Murder Nova didn't get to race because he had some issues. I don't know why any of those guys are racing, if I'm being honest, because the No Prep Kings thing kind of works for them. They're making their money off of that.
Because they got other cars they're racing.
They got
And
other
that's true, too.
cars. They got to sell merch. Also, they're racers.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
End of the day,
What?
this is going
Like,
back.
I
to
don't
the
know
whole
what all
ball-
races that I could actually be competitive at. I don't know what all races I could go to, but I know which ones I want to go to. It's all of them.
all of them.
Yeah.
Lights
So,
Out in Georgia and Outlaw Armageddon and
like even at their level, my gut feel is that they're like, yeah, what are we doing this weekend? We don't have a MPK race. Let's go race some shit.
so basically that answers our
Let's
question.
go to
on
Quick Trip and see if we can drum up a race. I don't really care. Let's just go do some hot rod stuff.
So that basically answers our question. Regardless of how they do it, there's always going to be people who want to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
As
so
long as-
any
as long as they keep
changes?
these- As long as they
Go
keep
ahead.
these events going, they're gonna be full.
Yeah. All but one. Which is in no way, shape, or form a dig at Midwest Drags.
So interesting side note, which I would have got in about 3 seconds earlier than I did. Congratulations to Bryant Goldstone for winning Drag Week, and Alex Taylor came in second. Who won overall at Rocky Mountain?
I don't
Somebody
even
give me a
know.
name. You
Your
guys
mom.
kept up with it. I didn't.
I didn't keep up with it as well as I should have,
Okay, while they're looking that up,
like I normally do.
Unlimited was Earl. It has a big long last name. It's got an X in it and a Y.
Whoa.
With a 763 average and unlimited. Outlaw Street 855 for Aaron Schaefer. Pro Street 875 for Daryl Yost. Limited Street 860 for Steve Willingham. Rowdy Radial. Hot Rod 870 for Walter Doyle. Ultimate Radial 749 with a 9 for Eric Kuhn. So it looks like
there was-
749. So Eric Kuhn. So is that how they do that? You just look for the quick. I don't think I need to go into the index classes and see if anybody
No.
ran faster than the 749. So I'm going to
that
guess
would
Eric
that
Kuhn.
would put him that would put him slower than Bryant Goldstone at 667 average.
Yeah.
Car's fast.
Touch. He's got a couple hits on that deal.
Yeah.
He may have that combo figured out.
I've seen that car on its lid sliding down the end of the dragway and back the next year to race. He is hardcore. All right. Sounds like it's time for Marketplace.
Hmm.
How
You
in the world are we going to find something to talk about for a whole hour?
It is hard.
God. That's what she said.
Hey, did I tell you guys I'm getting a big block? Hell yeah.
Hey, when are your Pistons gonna be in?
I gotta get the motor over to Dusty so he can do all the stuff.
What time are you gonna have that over there tomorrow?
Man, he's lucky I'm not taking over there right now.
You got to do like I do and just call when you're a block away. Be like, hey, you still working on that motor? Nah, I'm almost there.
I'm gonna swing by there tomorrow. I'm gonna make up a reason to go over there. I don't know.
Just so he can say, hey, them heads done.
No, I'm not even gonna ask about them.
Unscrew your valve stem a little bit at Shawnee Grocery and then head east.
Yeah.
Hey, Fraser, I
just had a flat. Can you help me? By the way,
I was just nowhere near your neighborhood, and I was wondering, did you see the new Cletus show on YouTube? It's amazing.
just pop in and go, huh? Oh, did you say something? Oh, okay. Just checking. Well, I'm here. All right, sorry.
Wasn't talking to me.
I missed a call from you the other day.
Did you?
Was you asking about when I was going to drop this big block off? Because it's right there.
I got it in the truck. I didn't know if you.
And then on the way home, you just call and ask him how them bores turned out.
That crank look good.
Because that's what helps the machine shop go faster. If you call them at least twice a day.
That's the trick.
As soon as you drop your stuff off, you want to call and make sure they understood that you had dropped it off. And the next day,
all y'all are writing this down.
Get a progress report.
Make several calls a day. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, several calls a day. You may get an eggplant pick out of that deal.
All right.
61 Ford F-250 regular cab long bed, 61 Ford F-250 unibody, and Del Rey camper time capsule. Camper has been on truck since new. Garage most of its life. 223 6-cylinder with 4-speed, 8-lug Detroit steel wheels, disc brake front conversion, lowered 3 inches. Truck is really solid. Original paint and interior. The camper is like new inside with all the paperwork. And I left the price on there because I'm a moron. $25,000, no trades, will not respond to is this available? If it's listed, it's available.
Hey, can I go first?
I'm going to go 25.
I'm going to go 25.
Yeah. So the reason I picked this one out is because I was like, man, if we're going to go to PRI, like, let's go in style. Let's camp.
Yeah. Hey, don't have a good time.
I have a feeling that you and Devin would be driving in the truck, and me and John would be drinking beers in that camper with our hands right there in front of that window. It'd be like my butt crack and John's face. We're like, yeah, we're driving down the road. So
it's just the pressed ham express.
That is a slick rig.
That is.
Yeah. Oh man, I was just getting ready to say if that thing looks as good inside as out. I'm shocked at the 25 number.
Hey, that deal's mint. That's nice.
Yes, it is.
It's worth 25 grand.
Yeah.
That's a good price.
That is actually a very, very good price. It's
I really, really don't want to go 75 down the road on that. Like that is a 55er for sure. And if there's enough wind, we're just going to pull over and camp wherever we are at.
Yeah.
Manuel brakes.
It may only go 55 miles an hour.
No, yeah, this is rolling 55 everywhere it goes. Yeah.
I'm just glad to see that there's not a boot between the camper and the cab, so me and Devin should be just fine.
Yeah, you're safe.
And then nobody has converted this thing to power brakes. Like we're gonna get this thing rolling. And we're gonna try to stop all that with drums on a manual master cylinder. Let's do it.
Hold on, I gotta look at something here.
I'm cooking my ramen. I'll be making red beans and rice with wieners on that grill. I can put my wobble pops over in that fridge.
There's a window under that table that goes right into the cab.
Yeah.
I no longer want this camper.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
You'll be looking back out that window, and I'll be sitting in that booth with no pants on.
This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Let me check something here real quick.
Just a pair of socks and a wobble pop.
Yeah.
All right. John, you got your readers on?
1951 Kaiser Special 2-door Resto Mod. Super nice mod motor powered street rod. 1951 Kaiser 2-door Special. Frame off complete Resto Mod with everything rebuilt or replaced. Powered by a 1998 fuel injected 4-valve V6, 4-valve 4.6 mod motor, V8. 4R70W, 4-speed automatic, Fat Man fabrication, independent front suspension, Ford 9-inch rear, Borla exhaust, vintage air, all new wiring, new interior, all new 4-wheel disc brakes, blah, 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 with new brake lines, all new fuel lines, built in 2017 and driven more than 4,000 miles without a hiccup. Oh, it's so many words.
Just wait, it gets worse.
51 Kaiser. I don't even know how I feel right now. I mean, I feel like when we get to the mod motor, I'm going to be disappointed. Yep.
My big thing with this car is those wheels are the ugliest wheels ever made.
They look like 1998 Dodge Ram truck wheels.
They're not aesthetically pleasing in the least.
I do like the car, and I think the daisies actually work for this car, but I do not like daisies on anything.
I don't know.
Someone's really asking 31.5 for this deal.
Is that what you think?
I mean, I don't know what to think. This is not the kind of stuff I'm good at guessing on.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Throw me a number, Doherty.
42.
45.
Yeah, I knew I was low. I knew it when I said it. I wanted to say 56 if you want to hear the truth. So I was like, yep, 56. That's dumb too. So I'm just going to go low.
Yeah.
Should have went with it.
Is that a Falcon in the background?
Yeah, what's in the that's what I was gonna ask all you. What's in the back? There's a better picture of it. Go back.
Convertible. Is it a convertible Falcon? Or?
Yeah, what's that? Right there.
Yeah, right over there. That's a good looking car. Let's see it. Call the guy and ask about that deal.
I like that one.
Falcon or a Comet? Looks like a Comet.
I don't know. Looks like something needs a big block.
It's like got a nice garage.
No, it's Falcon. Round tail lights. It's Falcon.
Man, this is a really nice car, all except for that mod motor. Wow, that was ugly. What'd you just do?
You don't have to read it anymore.
My eyes hurt. Yeah, we're not reading all these words after seeing that.
Let me go through it here. 1500 extended cab short bed, custom built and shortened. Blah, blah, blah. All factory. Everything works. All right, let's move on.
Nope. Why would anybody put this much effort into a clown car?
Dude, go back real quick.
Hold on.
I straight up thought there was an outboard mounted in the bed of that truck. Like, why the hell? Is it float? Okay. That makes me feel better.
I don't know what the justification is for this vehicle. No matter what happens, there is not a chassis that short on a factory vehicle.
No. The execution is good. It's ugly. I don't like how the bed and the back door when Cinecat part come together. That's kind of funky.
Well, it's because they used a flare side bed.
I get it. It's funky.
It's gonna.
That's really where you just die on. Like this thing's got 9 kinds of hideous, and you're like, yeah, everything's cool with the bed.
I wish the body lines lined up a little bit better.
I'm trying to stay positive.
All right, if you thought the Kaiser was hard, give me a number.
Well, it's
Gee.
gonna be half price because half the truck.
I mean, dude's got a nice shop. He's got a really nice pontoon. He's even got a gas heater hanging from the ceiling. Like, this place is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an extension of a shop. There's more shop behind that door because this is the outside of the shop. I'm just saying, this guy's got some jack. He thinks his stuff's worth some money. He's seriously thinking this $3,000 heap is worth like 12.
Bo, give me a number.
$1.
Can I?
We'll go 15 grand.
Hey, hold your hand up. Hold your hand up like this over the left side of your screen. All right. Now it's worth it. Yeah. You can only see the front half. Looks pretty tough.
I had to check it again.
Yeah. Still don't want it, but at least looks roadworthy. Nope.
That's all right. That's okay.
$9,500.
Yeah.
Technically, the last one I threw in just for my own fun. 1927 Ford Model T Custom. Blah, blah, blah. Racing buckets, spun aluminum gas tank, this and that, blah, blah.
Oh, this is worth more than that last deal.
I don't know if it's worth more, but it's definitely more desirable.
Yes. Well put. If I could take the 5.3 out of that other deal and stick it in this deal,
Even
that'd
if
be
you
all right.
drive stuff, put some all terrains on this deal and keep it low.
Oh, yeah. Let's just take this body and put it on that other deal.
Just pull the cabin bed off, throw them away,
Yeah.
and put this on there.
Plug and play.
I just see tons of body work
Yeah.
and hammering
Yeah.
and dollying and
Yeah.
There's a fire truck.
oh, yeah, fire truck.
I'd never look at the background.
They got like a whole salvage yard back there.
Yeah, like the
Right.
Kirky circle track seats going on in this deal.
I do like the seats. I do like the striping on the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool start to a hot rod for hopefully not a whole lot of money.
Give me an
There's a-
idea what that whole lot is.
I don't know.
I'm 0 for tonight, and I'm doing awful. I'm way off, so I'm $2,500.
Okay.
I was like
Dory?
35.
I was gonna say 35, but I went 25.
The answer is 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
He's not going to get that. Like, he can want that all day long.
That's okay. He's doing what I'm doing. If anybody, I got those headers up for sale. They're for sale $350. I do that so I really get what I want out of them at $300.
They're worth what somebody will pay for them, not what somebody will ask for them.
That's
Exactly. I paid $300 for those headers, and they're the exact same shape as when I got them. So I figured $300.
They're good headers and they're in good shape.
But between me, you, and Stone Cipher that are is gonna watch this show, I take $275. Ain't nobody else gonna know.
Nobody else going to know. They're never going to know.
So now we've established that Bo will take 250.
No,
Uh,
yeah, probably. I got big. And now I learned today that I got to buy a stinking 850 cert cage if I really want to do this stuff. So, and that's
Yeah.
not cheap.
Well, you want to do that anyway, so you'd have a place to mount a GoPro. So
I know, but I didn't want to do an 850, sir. That's a little overkill. But hopefully I'll need it.
So Bo will take 250.
I'm gonna wait till I make an illegal pass for I add them last 3 bars so that I can be legal.
It's a safety issue for me right now. Like I say right now, whenever it's done, me and you had this conversation earlier. Once everything's together, the car runs like it's supposed to, like it should, I'll definitely need the 850 start cage with the nitrous. So
yeah,
might as well do it now. I don't want to do it later. So
hey, speaking of the Cheap Truck Challenge finale, man, that was pretty epic watching them ramp them cars off of that hill.
Man,
guys, go watch.
That was sweet.
I'm not a Whistling Diesel fan or follower. I don't watch any.
Hate Whistling Diesel.
I've been vocally against people that even talk about watching Whistling Diesel.
Yeah.
But
that hill he's got, the setup he's got to launch
really cool. Let's go launch some
pretty
cars
awesome.
off that deal.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Which was the more glorious at the end, the Ranger or the Ram?
Man, I thought that Ram should have got points for style.
Hey,
because it like grazed the Ranger and did a mid-air twist, threw the axles out.
Hey,
it was on one. It was good.
Just the balls to zip tie the throttle wide open and then smack it into drive.
I know.
In the front, front tires just. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
See, you're saying that, and I'm talking about the stones of Whistling Diesel to stand down at the bottom of that hill.
Yeah.
With his
he's standing right down there where they're aimed at him. We'll back up just a little bit. No, we're okay.
Go that way.
They've done it a bunch. It's not the first cars to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got experience with it. So
he's experienced. This isn't his first shit show. But
go
see him. So he was kind of standing there talking to him about how this is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to block it off over here. We're going to do this, that, and the other thing. Made me think for just the splittest of a second that dude must be trying really hard to be such a tool.
A D-bag.
Yes.
No, it's
like he's doing a lot.
Diesel, but he kind of won me over.
Really?
Yeah. That guy has 2 projects going on right now that have caught my attention, and one of them is he's been doing a lot of stuff with Cletus and that General Lee car, and I'm interested in that, and he's been working with Cletus on this $5,000 truck challenge. Really interested in that. He's also got another project going on, and not everybody gives a damn about it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But he is building a replica of the Killdozer from Granby, Colorado. If you don't know what that is, go Google it. Interesting story. I thought it was that guy's may not be as bad as I say he is, but I still stand by what I said. He's a D-bag.
I'm glad once you make your mind up about something that you're really locked in.
Every other video he does besides the 4 that I'm interested in is stupid.
So I'm probably going to go watch some of his videos because he talked about, he's like, these are some really good launches, but he talked about some of his best ones, and I like the Model. Is it a Model T?
Yes.
I want to go watch that now.
I
want to watch cars go down that hill every day.
It's the same as watching those guys in Alaska who launch cars off of that ramp at the top of a cliff.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
No.
It's carnage.
It's carnage. It's cool. I don't know. Watching them go down that hill, I think that might be better than watching them soar off that cliff in Alaska. That's the 4th of July deal you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's getting risky. Those guys are doing things that different now. That crowd's getting way too close for my liking. It seems like it's getting on the verge of being dangerous.
Well, it's only going to take one, and they won't do it again. You know, you
Yeah,
just
kind of like
got to
standing
worry
in
about you.
Blue
Yeah, you
Velvets
and
on the
yours.
starting line.
As for me and mine, we're not going to stand on the starting line, and we're not going to stand at the bottom of a hill like cars are being launched off of it.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna stand off to the side
We'll stand off to the side and watch.
because I want to go.
Yeah.
Just want to stand at the bottom.
Watch it plow through a whole group of Alaskans.
Nah, dude.
Anything you guys want to throw in before we wrap this up tonight? Go watch Cletus's new video. Go watch him launch cars off a cliff in Alaska. You can find both of those on YouTube.
Okay.
Bo,
Yeah.
anything? Doherty?
No.
Everybody love everybody.
See ya.
Nothing but check.